What I'm doing right now is this is a piece of Rotus, no, not Rotus square. Hold on a second. This is right over here, Saturn Magic Square, and I want to see what they're saying. And besides that, I mean, I don't have anything prepared. You know, there's so many situations that go on with numbers that are happening here on this planet right now, and it doesn't matter if it's the time clock or they blew the whistle because it's a penalty. Each one of these words, okay, are made up with letters, right? Each one of these words made up of letter. Imagine, imagine a word is made up with letters. They imagine that. Imagine, look, it's a word. Like, I mean, I don't know. Can you call it a word? You know, I shouldn't write it on this page, right? I have to go back to, if you call it a word. Here you got 33 for, I always call it gold, rotation in the sun, 18th and 15th letter. The reverse of these two letters is I, and the reverse of this is L. So every time you see L and I or O and R, like Lily and Ronnie, it's just really funny the way that inverts to each other. I never noticed that before, where W is D and D is W. Don't know what that means yet, but it looks like it could be a wild word. You know what would be a wild word? The deuce is often noted to be that wild card. There are always so many things about two. Well, two times two, two plus two equals to four equals to four. And I like to look at my four this way. Now, is it 4 by 4 because of its dimensional illusion? Can I do that? And this can be like that. And create that. So we have two here and two here and four here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Each one with their own complete helm. But we don't see this one here. I don't know what this situation is going to bring up. And this is where your H is, your H8. And this will create what is area space because its first multiplication of 44, okay, by the way, is 8 times 4, 8 plus 4 equals to 12, equals to 32, equals to 44, 1 and 2, 3, 2 and 3, 5. There's a lot going on in here because right after this, right, this 44 is 4 times 4 is 16p, 4 plus 4 equals to 08h. Now, if you're thinking of phi, if you want to think about pi, pi is 3 times 3 and 4 times 4. So instead of having CCDD, what you get is you get I and you get P. P16, I09 equaling to 25 or equaling to 1 and 15. 9 and 6 is 15. This is rotation in the sun. Let's keep that on the side for now. So this is where we have 2/3 and 1/3, and this is where the dice cube comes in. And here we have 2 rows here, 2/3 and 1/3. So if I put 3 and 1 together, it'll create 4. The first row and the last row will create the first row. Our energy is in the cycle of 1, 4, 7. 3 and 1 is 4. 3 and 4 is 7. 3 and 7 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. Which means when it's 10, it ignites this one over here from down here, which is the 4th level. The 4th level is noted to be the mirror area, and it's the mirror because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10 is 1, 2, 3. So in this 4th cycle over here, right, you see we have the 4-year leap cycle, but here it's the 1, 2, 3 cycle. Here it's a 3 cycle. We work in the 4 cycle. The Earth versus the Mars. The polarity of the 3 and the 4, okay, tells us that exact story that it's 180 degrees. Maybe that's one of the reasons for Resh, which is sometimes known as high 18, but represents the 18th letter in the English alphabet. You're gonna have to give me a minute break here to get a drink of water, and my butt hurts. Okay, so what's going to happen next, okay, is, did I get this light, too much light or something, eh? Let me just adjust my, there we go. There we go. Okay, so we're going to check this out. Wow, they must be blocking me, eh? Wow, they must be blocking me, eh? Okay, let me take the sound off of that. Wow, they haven't uploaded this yet. SD. Just give me a second here. Okay, so we are over here. We had the word, yes, the word 33, 23, and 4, because the reverse alphabet. So these two letters are encompassed by these. Now we make all combinations to see what mathematically comes out. And we're just going to build it till the tail until it stops. And everything stops on 19, on 29, on 39, on 49, on 59, on 69, on 79, 89, and 99. All these go together. Each one of these is going to total 118. Now, if we valued a number as we do a letter, okay, because numbers are actually 9 reverse. Actually, okay, 9, it's 9, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 0. So there actually is 10, but there actually is 10. Okay, there actually is 10, but the 10th connects. So if the 10th connects and we can't have it, then what I'm looking at is either, my question, if it connects and 9 ends up, let's say you have 3 high, right? You have 3 high. And you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that area is encompassing each one of these. Now I'm going to see if that's going to work in my 84-year cycle, in my 84-month cycle, in my 84-year cycle. I call this the Pluto cycle. It's a cycle of the cube, where it's 28 days to a moon times 3 moon equals to 84. The last time we had this was 1938 plus 84 equals to 2022 ending, because I'm using all the numbers. You see, is it all of 38? All of 38 begins in 37. Can that be reference to the 37 area spaces in both, and 37, 8 retrospective to the 0 and 00 in roulette? TV, 5G, exactly how it's been written in the codes. And look, the codes are right here. Right? These videos are for entertainment purposes. Entertainment. The entity, obtain, enter. I always looked at this as the renter. I always look at this as Earth. TH only begins on number 4. The E and A worlds, you have to connect to somewhere. The A for me was always a divided world. Let me see if I got this right. Did I get this right? Oh, yes, I got that right. And it can either be this way. Okay. Let me see if I can. No, I'm not going to. Hold on a second. This way and this way. This is where your A comes up. So if we finish the formation, right? 1, 2 areas, 1, 2 areas. Then you come to the center and you rehook up this way. And then you come down this center and you rehook up this way. So 77 encompass this design over here upon obligation of this design. Now, what's going to be inside of here? Will it be this? Within their own realm. I don't know how to describe this or how to explain this, but this is what comes out of what the ace, the beginning of the ace is. It's a divided house. One divides everything. I is divided of 2 worlds. 2 worlds living within half a heaven. When you create the, I like to call it binary of H, or the smallest H possible, not regarding to what can be a larger, did I say H, right? The larger H, but cannot be done like this. The only way this H can be done is like that or like that. So if we do just one of them, I'm going to explain this in a second, okay, is that there is no dividing line. You see these squares here? I have to go right in the center, and I'm not allowed. I have no guidance. The only way to do it is either like this or the opposite way, and you're creating XX and O with an X. Basic. 11 or 10 and 10 coming together as 911 comes together. X1, 1X, XE, when they come together in bridge. Now this is also going to turn into the I letter. Let me see if I have some water here. All around one area. What were my squares when I created this, and where did this come from? Is it all alike? E, does it all look alike? E with a tail. Tail is going down. Tail is going down. E. Tail. So it's all the same, right? It's all 4, 4, 4, 4. That's what it is. Creates. Whatever creates. Okay, we're gonna just keep that out of the game. I don't want to lose myself like I usually do. We were talking about 10 connects. And what is this reality? Well, each one of these, okay, mathematically in the star system, according to the star found on the keyboard, it's in number 8. And star system for me is a multiplication and an addition, and it's times 4. Actually, it's multiplication and addition. But you have to remember, what if we did subtraction? Or how about subtract? That's what I just wrote. Or subtract without the no T. No T. I don't want to put the, okay, but that's ironic because C and T is, this is 3C and this is 20T. And what's ironic is before the polar set in, right, which comes at 4D. And again, the reason for that is they're the only and one of, but the only separation of one. Their separation between each other is 0.5, 0.5. halfway to the house or the passageway of 3.5. I like to call this electric company. We can call it 356, 542. We can call it the high 8. Reason for the high 8 is 9 plus 8 equals to 17, or actually we should call it the high gate. 17 is that gate through Mars. 17 and 17 and 17 equals 51, the numeric value for Mars. There are other words. There are other stories. I'm not the final story. I'm one of the stories. That's it. If you believe in what you watch and what you hear, for what reason do you believe and what do you believe? I'm not asking you to believe anything. All I am saying is that the letter M is the 13th letter in the alphabet. That's all it is. The M is the 13th letter in the alphabet. As a child, when I was growing up and I learned my alphabet, I learned that A was the first letter in the alphabet. When I got a little bit older, I understood that with 26 letters in the alphabet, I knew that the alphabet going from left to right or right to left, okay, left to right or right to left, I knew that the center or half the alphabet from left to right was the letter M. But when I went to Z and I worked backwards, it was the letter N. So both M and N have to tie together. 13 and 14, they tie together. They are the closest one. The in between, okay, to 13 and 14 is 13.5. 0.5 used as a half area space, a meeting place of a separation of 1. 14, do with what you want with it. It is the second realm of its kind. It comes after 13. And in the English language, with 13, okay, it's the first word that in their realm, okay, and I think there are 7 of them, right? They 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 create the teen house. The letters for teen, TEEN, 20 plus 10 equals to 30 plus 14 is 44, area space. I always like to use, I can use just space, but it's area space. What occupies area space? Can I actually be here and moving and talking? Can you actually hear me if area space wasn't dense? Dense enough to carry my voice over to a microphone and a wire and have energy pulsate through wires, transforming it into, it's like magic. So if there's magic in what you don't understand, I'm explaining you how to understand or not, excuse me, how to see another definition for a number. A number is a word. There's games with numbers. Check out this game. You want to see another game? Check out this game. Imagine if I put this game with this game, or this game and this game and this game all together. What a story I would have. In fact, I can probably go to the ATM and find another game, because on the ATM, unlike the telephone, but a similarity is they both have letters, except there's a difference. On the 7, value of 65, 6 and 5, 11, 7 come 11 within the word, is the letter Q. But when you go to the ATM, the Q is not on the 7. It's on the 1. And on the 9, apparently the 7 is the gate. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3. And the 9, 1 times 4, 1 plus 4. Right? Remember we talked about the M and the N, the connection. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 equals to 3 equals to 3 equals to 4 equals to 7, and N is the 14th letter. 1 times 4, 1 plus 4. Okay, I'm not going to do the minus because I wanted to explain something, equals to 5 and 4, 9. So at the ATM, okay, the Z on number 9, it's not there. Where's the Z? On number 1. So the Z, the 26th letter, moves, okay, from the 9 key, okay, over to the 1. And the Q, the 17th letter, moves over from key 7 to key 1. So you can see that key 9 moved over to 1, and the 7 moved over to 1, not the 8, because in the design, okay, of what is just a plain H, okay, how was I going to explain this? Right, on these 3 levels, there's a passing over here. So what is this to cross in between an area? Should it be continued? Is this a wave going through the creating of a 3 by 2 area equaling to 6 squares? Each one of these squares will get a value depending on which game and which method I use. If I just use this plain method, or if I use the average method. 1, 9 plus 8 plus 7 plus 6 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus, whoop, 45. I minus the 27 because I added 32 by mistake. All of these numbers equal to 45. So you divide them by 9 equals 5. But if we count the reconnection, remember what I was talking? You know, you want to go and you want to reconnect up to here, right? You want to reconnect up to here. So that this, I'm trying to see if I can explain this. Okay, I think I can explain it this way. In order for these two to connect, I would be going into this. See, this is a free roaming area, right? So the minute I would jump from my last cube into this cube, here's my free roaming area, right? Into this cube, this half, this 10th jump is back to the beginning area, like the on deck circle, if you want to look at it that way. I'm not going to talk about the penalty box. I'm just trying to think where the, okay, so what happens in this, okay, is the average is 5. So I'm only using 9 of these because it's the, I'm not sure which way we should use the 0. Sometimes I like to use the 0 like this, connecting 2, 4, 6, 8. There's 2 worlds, right? There's 2 somewhat worlds. One is 2, 4, 6, and 8. I know they have to be divided 1, 3, 7, and 9, right? The 5, I think, is free. And the artwork on the floor, hold on a second. The artwork on the floor, there's a couple of designs. I'm not sure if you can see it all the way back there, right? And let me see if I can get this camera on it. Yeah, so all the way back there, there's a couple of different designs, you know, and what I did is instead of creating, hold on a second, let me just fix this. Instead of creating a line to connect my numbers, I decided to take each number and have its own area space. So I made a square. I made a square for the 1. I made a square for the 3. I made a square for the 7. All the odd numbers. Made a square for 9, but not for the 5. Number 5, I made because 5 is universal. 5 is where automatically once 4 comes in to Revelation, you automatically have some sort of dividing center. But there's two kinds of dividing centers. I'm still don't understand it. Okay, one of the dividing centers, okay, is, hold on, where's my pen? One of my dividing centers is here. We have this house, the 1 by 1, and then we have the Windows house. And I'm not sure if I would use half spaces, but we're going to go. And here is 4, and here is 20. Over here will be 12, and then over, wait a second, did I get that right? 12, 20, yes. So 20, 30, so that would be 36. I need 36 areas times 5 equals to 180. Then I have 36 areas times 35 equals to 1260 times 35. The reason for that, if I was playing roulette, one complete area space is valued at 35, but in this scenario, the average for area space is 5 according to this, but this is a 4 block. So there's got to be some other different reality going on. I don't know what it is. Let me see. So this is 36, right? But the base of this is 16. I like to call this the purple house, because when you're playing the game of pool, the purple ball is both 4 and 12. It is the heavens, the purple heavens that we live. So where does the 3, the 9 lives of the cat come in? Well, if I was to create anything, I would create my 9 lives here, right here. I'd create a 9 right over here, and then I would create another 9 right over here, and then I would create another 9 right over here, and then I would create another 9 right over here. Let me see, did I get that right? 3, 6, 9. So 3, 6, 9, 9, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 36. So I brought them all together. Now, are there any more 9s? Yeah, there is another 9. There's another 9 over here. Let me see, did I get that right? There's another 9 over here, right over here. And then there's another 9. Let me see if it went, let me see. There's another 9 right over here. And then there's a, let me see, did I get that right? And then there's another 9 right over here. And then there's another 1, 2, 3 right over here. And then there's another 9 right over here. So there's 36 and 36 9s. And now I create that area where I boxed out 4 areas, where I have a 1 to 1, a 1 to 1, where it's I above, I below to 0, 1, 0, 1. I don't know what this equation is yet. So this is another way to create this scenario. See, it's a science. I have to go get something to drink in the fridge, but for me, it's a science. You have to figure out the realm, how you got there. Things and games, it's from TV. Science fiction, forget about when you go to a movie, don't ask. You can, like, what are those terms? Hold on a second, I got a little water here. Is it science fiction? Is it drama? Go blank to that stuff. Forget it. Somebody put a definition on something to categorize it based on the definition of who. And if it can be created once, if it can be created in the illusion once, then it is real as a story. Is it fact on the street or is it out of theater? This is out of theater. Can it be fact on the street? It's in all the theaters. Fact on the street. Saw the movie. It happened. Would it be the same if we actually saw it happen on its own? Cause and effect. Who is causing and creating the effect or the illusion? The illusion. Look at all the cons stories that have ever happened, and think. So we're going to get out of that and go back into, I was talking about the ace, how the ace card is a divider. There is a left side of the house and a right side of the house, and there's two aces, ace 11, Fibonacci, 1 and 1 Fibonacci. So they're using it somewhere. What I use is already being used. If it's not being used, please, somebody tell me. Somebody tell me something. Okay, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. My source of information. Well, I've mentioned it many times. My source of information. My source of information. And now I lost my. Just a second. My source of information. Okay. Okay, are you which one? Is it the new 1 minute fork faced? Hello, individuals. Eating brown people, bombing, seizure having okay, I'm not sure what you're actually where you're. Let me see where it is. Yeah, but I can't watch that right now. Indivisibles. I don't know where this comes from. Okay, too funny. Okay, so let me keep on with this. Let me. So what happens? Let me finish. I have to finish with this. Okay, I have to finish with this. So here's my second pyramid or my other ace. Now you know I jump around, right? Here's my other ace, and this is one side, and this is the other side. I don't know if I have sizes right. I don't know how they share energy, but I'm assuming it's like this. See, when it's a continuous area and when it's a split area. The pyramids, I'm assuming this is a wave, so I would assume that it is water. And the question is, if it's water there, okay, is it water here? So if this was all filled with water, over here we can live between these two areas, and the energy, and I'm just trying to see if I should do it that way. The energy and it's also backed up with water on the outside here, and inside of here that picket fence seems to be the flow connecting both, and they call this 11, ace 11. You can only have one in blackjack, the game of 21 and 33, creation in the sun. Let me see. Okay, how do we use this info? What do we use this info for? Right now, I am only creating. That's what I am doing. I'm gathering the information. It's like I have the water. I have all the water. I want to make an ice rink, but I'm missing some elements. So I think I got to make it cold. Yes, I'm going to make it cold. So there's a certain way. What am I creating? Okay, right now, like I said, I'm just creating. Anybody can come in here, and I know I do an enormous amount of videos. I'm not trying to prove. I'm showing the artwork that comes out of the connection of numbers. Numbers come from, I'm using words as my context, so I can get more of a value to a word, and I can connect different words to numbers, where I can associate. When I say number 17, I know it's Mars. I know it's a DC-CD gate. I know it's a 2-3-3. I know it's a DC gate. Sorry, it's a DC gate. Hold on a second. A DC gate. So I know it's a 4-3-3-4 because that creates 7. They're the reverse. It's the 180 gate. 180 resh. So the third resh. 180, 180, 180, 540. 10 reverse 0, 1. Yes, 10 can be reversed 100%. And 10 binary code is 2. And 0, 1 binary code is 1. But they both use 2 areas. Now, occupying 2 areas, understand that now I'm going to take a number, convert it into a singular word, meaning that there's no 1 letters, it's a singular word. And I'm going to use that word as either A, 27 reverse for every single letter, or B, just use the whole word as a value of 27. And okay, and just let me finish. So every number has a value of 27. So if there's 2 numbers, 27 and 27 equals to 54. But because your number is 10, which also can be looked at as IO, like IO, whichever way you want to look at that. And so it equals 54. Anything to do with 54 has to do with a passage in the sun. 54 minus 10 is 44. Area space, division between night and day. 0, 1, right away, 0, 1. Anything to do with 1 is a split. It's a split. And after that, we start creation, the split of the energy. Always 2. Yes, bifial coils. I have to look that up, but yes, 2. And even I mean, whatever I do, you're right. I shouldn't say I don't know. Whatever I do, I have the source. So you can say, people can say, coincidence, right? Coincidence. Everything's a coincidence, but that's the art. Coincidence, coincidence. What's a coincidence? Here's the 9. The 8 is not consumed by the 9. Oh, and here is the 10. Twins. 5 above, 5 below, 1 in between 4, 1 in between 4. It's perfect. Thing I have to understand about this is it's not a square, it's rectangular. So if it's rectangular and we're talking about 9 area spaces, 3 by 3, then I would only be using up 2 sections, because that's the explanation in rectangular. Or it can be, depending on the design of the amount of squares I use, maybe it's just 1 area space in Monopoly, because an area space in Monopoly is 2 high by 1 square wide. Now, let me see. Interference, interface, intergalacta, inside the earth, connected to the earth, the retina, the eye, because of the letters TER, okay? is CTER. How about it's not AT, the AT field, it is the ET field. But, okay, but it's the ET field because it's in the E is in the I world, it's the world of birth. So what happens is that letter R, right, is the AT field. The reason for that, because R is in the house sounding vibration of A. House sounding vibration of a R. In French, it sounds more like an E. So we have to understand the difference between French and English. So that's, yes, rotation in the sun, French, English is 0, 5, 50, and 14. Wow, wow, wow. AD, this is rotation of the sun. And English, E and N, oh my God, E and N is not DNA, but it equals to the AI world. I'm just thinking. I'm going to explain it to you. E is the 5th letter. N is the 14th letter. 5 and 14. Or how about 4 plus 1 plus 14? Let me think of this again. A N D A. Right. Instead of the A, you have the E. The E, okay, right here is where we can get the E. We cannot get the E, okay, off the window, off Windows key. We can't get the E off Windows key. I'm going to explain to you that this is what I believe, so you have to help me out with this. I might be totally wrong, okay? This versus this. This divides the area, but this area can't be divided. So it becomes a whole area created by 4 of these dots. Therefore, I need 4 by 4, 16 to create the reality of this. Did you follow why? I'm going to say it again. This is a complete area of its own. This is 4 times that area. So 4 creates 1. 6 creates 2. 8 creates 3. And 9 creates 4. Right? First it took 4 to start, then 2, and then 2, and then 1. Life between AN, DNA. Ape at the same time. 42 is your gateway to area space, 2 times 2, 2 plus 2. So I got off the subject for a second. I have to come back to this. Yes, English. I like that. Oh yes, that's what we're okay. I want to get back to this. God, I forgot what I was talking about. There's a difference. This dot, which one is 0? Is this the 0 and the donut? So the donut would be a 3 by 3, and the filled creamed donuts like this one that don't have the hole in the center, that would be 2 by 2. The total would be, if you want to look at it like this, it would be 55, or it'd be 6 and 4 10. Unless we multiply it and do the whole thing, it would be 15 and 8 equals to 23. 3 times 3, 9. 3 plus 3, 6. 9 and 6, 15. 2 times 2, 2 plus 2 replicates itself. Total is... Electric company creates this. Anyways, get back to this. So what happens is now we created the B letter out of this. A and A creates what is the B, creates C. It becomes AC and B, the child. But when the water rises, you rise and you flow into the E, from B into the E. And that's where everything gets split up, I believe, from E. And it becomes EG. Well, because that's your gateway in the moon. Now, if you're EG, then you're NEWGPY. This is the 5 group, and this is the 7 group. GEP P, E, and Y within the family of I in the family of EE. N in the family of precedent E. E is within its own self, and W inside the vowel family of U. Sounding. So where else am I going to get? Hold on, I'm going to get a little bit of water. I'm going to come back, take a 1 or 2 minute break, and recalibrate. I wanted to sort of talk about a design. I'm working on a piece from Saturn Square, and I'm trying to break it down. I'm trying to see what I can create through games. There's patterns in games. There's rules and regulations. If I follow the baseball regulation and numbers, I would try to understand before a circuit. Circuit breaker. What's a circuit breaker? When one moves ahead of the other, circuit breaker. So this is when you break the tie, because baseball, a home run in French is circuit. A grand slam is in grand chelem. So now SHLEM come together. Ending with EM is ending with matter and energy and connected to the division of what is the moon and the sun. 13.5. The stripes in the solid of orange were yellow, what they call it the soul, and the spirit energy, the hot, that spirit energy of the 3 and 11. And I get that from the separation of 7 plus the connecting 1 is 8. And you get that in the game of pool. Pool is talking about the one spirit passing through, divided into the beta gates, 1 and 2. Let me try to explain this. I lose myself. I go too far ahead of myself. The 3 ball and the 11 ball. There's the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5 balls, but only 4 belong to that house of solids. And then you have the 9 ball on the other side, and the 10 and the 11 and the 12. So you have 4 above and 4 below. And then the 13 ball is just like what is the 5 ball, 0, 5. It's hard to explain. I jumped off the odds I jumped off the odds. I'm not very happy about that. I was explaining why there's a difference between the evens and the odds. And with the odds, the house has the advantage. With the odds, in one way or another, they're going to create the advantage goes to the house unless you play your cards right. And it doesn't mean that there can't be what they call the lucky winner or the skilled winner. So each one of these words are going to tell other stories because of their new definition through numbers. So anyways, I was speaking about the word that ended in EM. And because the E is the 5th letter, the M is the 13th letter, led me over to the pool table to where one is a stripe, one is a solid, both orange. Orange is made from yellow and red. So red is 27, 2 and 7, 9, and yellow is 29. So is black. And so is number 14 will create this. 1 times 4, 1 plus 4 will equal 5 and 4. 5 times 4, 5 plus 4 will be 20 and 9. The IT system born into the gate of one part of the house. Remember, each ace is broken up into 2 compartments. And if you flip the ace upside down, you can see there's some kind of chimney that's plugging into it because of look at the ace in the deck of cards. So I put games to create what I do. So right here with these numbers, this is part of Saturn's square, some kind of big thing. I don't know how I'm gonna look at this, how I'm supposed to create it. I'm just gonna lightly do this, and I'd have to do all the way around so I can see what the design is. So maybe I'll take a picture and do the artwork after. We have this. So right away we have this. coming up. And the rest of it is, I'm not sure if we can connect. And then down here, I'm not sure which way to do this. All right, so that's the artwork that comes out of that. And then maybe we can connect it here. I don't know if we should. Here's a tail over here. So can this tail go up here? It's the only oh, I think I made a mistake here. Yes, I did. I don't have an eraser. Yeah, so what happens is see, we have that. See, that one, 7 and 5, 7, 5, and 9. We had this is even numbers, even numbers. Now, should we be able to, I'm just thinking, should we be allowed, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to do it and connect like this, right? But it's broken here, so there's a bridge. Only to a single number, but I can't go no more. And I've learned this through games, right? I learned this through games. Is there any other connections we can make? Yes, there's one more connection we can make. And the other connection is right here. So that's what this thing is going to look like. Can I connect that forward? I don't know. I got to recreate all the numbers upside down. I'm going to take a look. Well, you know what it is, Leo? I'm learning on the go. I'm looking for it. I'm not here to solidify something in somebody's mind, although I would love to just do one perfect video and explain this is what comes out of this. And yes, you're right. This is what it is, and that's what it is. That's what it is. This is the number, and that's what comes out of it. And these situations come from games. Come from games. In the game of Scrabble, you can have a double letter. I don't know if you can have a triple letter. I have to know the rules a little bit better. I have to brush up on some of the rules. I can't remember everything. I just know the basics, that there's obviously the single, the double, the triple. Sounds like baseball. Single, double, triple. I'm not sure if I open up the door or turn somebody away, or looking for the people who are not looking to just, I mean, I still believe, I don't want to put it out there on anybody's shoulder. After 12 years, I think I should have, had some association with some group to put this out there a little bit deeper, or grind me out just so I know everything perfectly. But I can't. I could, but I can't, not all at one time. I could in little bits and pieces. There's so much information out there that I'm only on the grindstone still from what I put together. And I highly believe, and I highly believe 20 AM comes together. ETAM, team. Backwards, it is meet. What is meet? What is meet? If we were playing baseball, they call it the heart of the order. The cleanup man. So what is the meat? So meat, you would think of not a bull, but a cattle. Cattle. Meat. You can also think of goats, maybe. And depending where you are in the world, you can think of, maybe you just want to meet somebody. But the beginning and end of meet is actually representing Mars. It is the AE world, the arts and entertainment of coming together. Meet be and be team meet, a team meet, right? Two teams come together, one team and one team becomes two teams, but they're not separated. The only thing that they're fighting after, if they were separated, was the ball or the puck or the net in between them. So I'm not sure of that mathematical situation or where it's going to take us. But that is, one thing I am sure about is that's an equation to use in order to bring and formulate our words closer together. So back to the word, that the T and the M, right? The T and the M, okay, are empty, saying it's empty. But I always refer to empty as Mars, and it is the gateway, T, to 13. What I like to say, you see the angle in the center of this? It's the same thing as my design. Let me see. It's the same thing as the split water design. So I'm just trying to see where were we? Where were we? Yes, we were on empty. So the total of the words of empty is 33, and that's rotation in the sun. It is the dividing of ET. Do you see ET and AM? AM is one part of the first part of the alphabet. T and E is a total value of 25, explaining Earth, explaining the plug. 05 is created by a division where all 12s, okay, E is 05. The 0 represents all of. So 12, 9 and 3, 8 and 4, 7 and 5, 6 and 6. Total association. So we're going to do it again. All 12s. 12. Then we're going to break it down to threes because we have other threes. We have 1 and 2, 3. We have 0 and 3, 3. I don't use that one. So 12 is 9 and 3, 8 and 4, 7 and 5, 6 and 6. Don't forget, in the casinos, they're barring 6 and 6, so they're telling us a story. I don't know if it's going to be part of an equation. There are 4 12s, 48. Maybe I'll play basketball and use that for 4 quarters of 12. 12, 13, 1 times 3, 1 plus 3, creating DC. Meet 6. So we have 33. 33 is that division in the sun, the rotation of 8. The percentage sign located on the 5 key of your keyboard. 0 sphere. You know, it's funny because at the racetracks, right? When you have a circle, that racetrack is a half mile. When you have the elongated 0, that's when you can run to the mile. So that's the way I need to perceive these things, because this is what this sport does. The same thing a little bit with the zigzag Ferrari F1 or whatever you want to call it. And then they have the Fortune 500 or something, or the Daytona 500. And those are different shapes of tracks. So I like to look at the O as a half mile, and could be even less. But that's what we're going to use it at right now, depending on what the size is, right? What would be the distance between this side and that side? I'm just trying to think, is it the inside part where they're not running? There's that inner circle where nobody is, just like in Monopoly. Nobody runs on the inner circle of Monopoly, right? The money goes in the middle, community chest, you know. It's like I don't know, you get to a property, you got a house, and then you go into the community somewhere in the center of the board. In order to create the Monopoly board with cells, right? If you had to create all dots, how many dots would it take to create the Monopoly board? But I'm not going to work in dots because I don't have that answer. Not right now. I could. I'll do it for you if you want. I have to work with these. Monopoly has 40 areas, but the areas are not that size. They're window size. They're either a whole window, 2 by 2, or they're a 1 by 2, one side of the window, 1 by 2. This is how Monopoly is set up. There's a 40 range and a 48 range. Each one descends by 8. Again, 8. Back to the game of pool. And it goes all the way down until we get to the center range. Where are we? Here's that Monopoly right over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then on this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, I should have stopped right here, not there. And what this means, one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And this one here splits between both sides. It's this way or this way. You can't go all the ways on the track. In fact, if you have 4 ways on the track, right, you only can go 1/4 of the ways. If you're going this way, you're not going that way. And if you're going this way, you're not going this way, and you're not going this way. So all these 3 you're not doing, but this is what you are doing. So anyways, in Monopoly, the Monopoly board is this big. Since a property, okay, a corner is like this, a property is like this, and you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then you have a corner. And then you drop all the way down, and I'm just going to guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then you have a corner. And then you see the other one's easier to draw, right? Right after that, you automatically know. Okay, so I don't know if I got this perfect, but there's 2, there's 2 levels. So this is a 2x2 corner, and there are 4 of them. So 4 by 4 equals to 16. So right away I know this in math, this is going to be the division of day and night, the dividing gate. 2 times 4, 8. 2 plus 4, 16. 2 plus 4, 6 equals to your 14 NAD. 1/3, 8, 2/3, 16. I'll take this a day. I'll take this one at night. So night, H night, and P day. And the reason for that is the 16th hour, the 16th letter. The reverse of H night, okay, is S. And the reverse of P is K. The 16th and 11th and the 19th and the 08 letter for your reverse alphabet. So anyways, going inside of here, each one of these will have 2 areas high. So each one of these 2 areas high, there are 18 areas here, 18 here, 18 here, the Third Reich, and here's the Fourth Reich. And in between all of this scenario is the center dot. And there are 6 total areas and 6 total areas without including the 7. It is 616 area board and 616 area board the other way. This area over here, the outside band will be 48. The inner band will be 42. And then inside of here, this total area space, will equal to 81. Pegasus, Venus, which will create 80 and 89. Mathematics, 8 times 8, 8 plus 8, 64 and 16, 1 and 6, 7. 6 and 4, 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. 17Q at the 08 gate. And I like to count this as 16. I'm changing binary code. Okay, so this is 17, or 1 and 7. And the mathematics will create 1 times 7 equals 7. 1 plus 7 equals to 8 equals to G and H. 7, 8, 9. 7, 9, 8. 80, 80. 7, 8, 9 coming into there. I'll show you the gematria scale another day. So this is a total of 169, or 13 times 13. And the male, okay, becomes a man. The numeric value for man is 28, running the cycle of the moon. And this is the rotation. 1 and 6 equals to 7 and 9. And 7 and 9, I call this the gateway in birth. The math that creates this is this star system math. I want to go back to something I was talking about, the star, which was the addition, the multiplication. But when I talk about subtraction, what happens in subtraction, and I never really talk much about it, is here's 4 of them. Now, which line will I subtract? I'm only going to use this line. So every one of my 6s will always be 6 and 8. These 4 going around this way. This is a lock. And when you look at this as a lock, right, you can see instead of it being 9, 11, you have it splitting both sides, creating what is 55, the divided center. All these are divided, and then it creates what looks like the E worlds and Shin. I'm getting a little tired. I'm gonna this is how Monopoly was designed. Yeah, I go a little quick. I go quick. Yes, this is how Monopoly was designed, right? We know the size of the Monopoly board, and in order to recreate it on paper, it's not. If we would have created on paper with the center over here of Monopoly, and we had to go 40 around, 40 properties, we would be 1, 2, 1, 2. We need 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right? And then we have this one here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow. I need a light. I need a light. Did anybody hear that? Okay. So is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Is that right? You know, Leo, when I start to get that feeling, when I start to see a little bit deeper, I just I just say things the way they are. I know it's crazy. Things are the way they are because of how everything was built. It's built into the system to be this way. So this is Monopoly. Now the thing is, why I build it this way, 169 areas instead of building it this way, is because when you play Monopoly, the corners are twice the size, or what looks like at least twice the size of what the properties are, or the community chest. So in this one, we have 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Whoop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, you have 11. You have 11. You have 11. You have 9, and you have 9. 11 and 9, 20. 11 and 9, 20. If you look online, Monopoly board is 20 by 20. In inches, But in this scenario, it's 11 across and 11 across, and in between are the 9 properties that are split to 4, 1, 4, 4, 1, 4. They're split at the trains. And what do the trains represent? The 0 has encompassed the X. This is what is not this not what do we see when we go? What is the train track sign? We need to see a train track sign. Remember years and years ago in 1938, everybody was coming in on the trains. Show me a train track sign. So you have the train track sign right here. See that? What happened? It just look, and then when it shows the train track, you also see railroad R&R. 18 and 18 are 12, 12. I always like to look at the R as a 12. Okay, and then you have the picket fence. We have to understand the trains. We have to understand everything. R&R. R&R. Just give me a minute. I'm just going to go to the kitchen. I'm going to come back. Need to get something to drink. Dinner. How you doing? How you doing, Art? Mucho la grass, Tyson's amigo. Yep, confuse people when I go off and on what appears to them as a tangent and get called a nutter butter. That first sign was happy. What first sign? That first sign was happy. Oh, yes, right, okay. So let me finish with this. I just want to finish with one piece of Monopoly. So what happens is when we create this Monopoly board, that's what is 40 on the outside, exactly like Monopoly, we have one in the center of all these quadrants, but we have 13 this way, okay? Or we have 6, 1, 6. But in actuality, we have 1 here, we have 6, no, we have 5 here, 1 here, 5 here, 1 here, 5 here, and 1 here. 5, 6, 7, 5, 12, 13. So we have 13. So if we have 13 here, the opposite way, if the train track is open this way, this has to be a tunnel, or it has to be blocked until this block in the center turns. So if it turns, it's got to be turning in this area over here. At least in that area over there. And there's a reason for that. And the reason for that is it needs area space to move 1 for 1, if not more. So now we have 1, 5, 1. Right away, it's talking about Mars. Okay, Mars and birth. This Mars and birth above and below, it's going to be the M and the W. Because when these two come together, it's one or the other. It's either this or it's this, but it comes together and you end up to see this completion. And this is Roman numeral 9, 11. Holding on to 1 and 1. So then total area space is 5, 6, 11. Did I get that right? Total area space is 5, 6, 11. So this is 12? No, this is 11. Something's got to be right. 1 and 5 is 6, 7. So we have 5 here. 5 here. So I'm just trying to think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 25, 25, 25, and 25. Is that right? Let me just think of that again. If this is 11, this has to be 9. I have to do this again. See, I don't have the. I have to. Let me do this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Whoa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, that's good. Then the center one's going to be here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay, I got that right now. Okay, it's going to be 4. So it's going to be 4. 4, and then the total over here is going to be 9. There's going to be 9 over here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 36 and 36. And then over here is 9. So you have 72 and 9 equals to 81 plus 40 equals 121. 9 times 9 and 11 times 11 equaling to 121 equaling to 81. So again, in both games, it talks about 36. In both games, it talks about there's a gateway in here. Here it is the split of the blue world. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 equals to 3 plus 2 equals to 5. So the total of his board was what? 20. Total of his board was 81 and 40. So it was 121 versus the better correct board of 169. The difference is 48. Very interesting. Okay, let me see. Let me see what's going on. Let me see. Well, I'm gonna go back. Okay, I've been talking like this for a half an hour. I need something to drink. I mean water. You want to take a look at the ground floor? I don't know if I have that here. Let me see if I can get that. Let me see if this will shine anywhere. Too much light, eh? How about if we just shine it upside down? Okay, just leave the camera like that. Or how about if we just shine it towards the window? I have to get a drink. I fool around too much, eh? That's just a piece I just finished right there. Right here. I don't know if you can see it in the light. Now, just give me a minute. Okay. We still see those things flying in. You see the. Can we find them? Look. So what is that? Is that energy? What's actually flying? Okay, let me read these comments and untwist my camera from my. I'm tired, but you know what? I'll rest when this is complete. When this is complete, I'll rest my mind. It's not time to rest. Okay, let me catch up. Okay, let me catch up. O-sphere 360. So I'm saying 360. It can't be more than a half, but because Monopoly shows me there's a reflective mirrored side to the board, and it folds in 4, it's telling me 360 is only a quarter. Now, in the day, there's 1,440 minutes. 360 times 4, 1,440, or 480 times 3. The DC world, the difference between 3 and 4. The 8 and the 9 is within the heavens. You see, there's 1 cube and there's 2 cubes. And if you're divided and into the heavens, there's a passageway, so there's a separation. Wow, I'm going to lose myself. There's too many thoughts. So there's 8,640. The sun is 8,640 seconds in a day. So that's 8,640 divided by 360 equals to 240, making it 24 hours of the day. 240, 80, 80, 80. 3 times 80, 4 times 60, 6 and 8, the divided house. And the odds on that, meaning 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9, and where 5 plays in 9, according to the deck of cards. 5 is inside 9. The 4 corners and the 1 dot. Not the same with the 8. We still have the same 4 corners, the same heaven. But now I like to say that we have 2 moons instead of 1 heart. Well, where's the singular moon? The 7 card. 7, 8, 9. Okay, Monopoly has 40 areas. Then what you say does not equate to me. So for now, how others will see this. Okay, I'm going to explain it to you. There's 40 areas. But when you play Monopoly, this is larger than this. So the minimum size, and I'm using a 2-to-1 ratio, and it should be like 3 to 2, I think. The same way, this is a little offset, 3 to 2 to this square. In roulette, the numbers that you bet on are not square. They're rectangular, and they also look 3 to 2. And if you want to square off the numbers don't go to 12, yet the betting pattern in roulette is by 12s. So if the bricks or the betting number areas is 4 cells on my square paper and 4 cells and 4 cells, okay, by 3 cells, 4 by 3 cells, you would have 4, 8, 12 going 4 down. You would have 4 down would be 3 by 4 or 4 by 3 going across. Here is 1 cell. Well, here's a cell, here's a cell, here's a cell, here's a cell. So it would be done like this, but it's not. It looks more like a 5 and 3. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks more like that, the roulette size, than that. So I would go 3 across. It would be 15, right? 3 by 5. And I would go 4 down. 1, 2, 3, 3 down. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you'd have 12, 12, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'd have 15, 15, 15, and 15 per box, 45 for each row. This would be the number size. You'd have 3, 6, 9, 12 down, 15 across, reverts to the reverse alphabet. And the letters are O and L and A, B, C, and E. A, B, C, and E. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 will equal to 3 and 2, 5. 3, 6, and 5 equals to 11 plus 2. We repeated 2 again. So that would be that equation. So we're going to get to the Monopoly, right? The Monopoly board okay, is like this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, right? There are 9 properties in between 1 and 1 corner. So that's 11. So we go 11, 11, 11, 11. 11 by 11 equals to 121 area spaces, to where one area space, 120, are surrounding one area. In this board, it's 168 areas surrounding one area, 168 hours in the week. The dividing of the seventh gate inside. So if it does not equate to me, you ask me the question, I'm gonna go over it. And splitting water equals HO, H2O. The splitting water is between that ACE 11, the way I perceive it. The also the through design, in order to create size or dimension within the A letter, I'm going to have a replica of two angles coming together like two bulls. And since we have bulls coming together, I start to go through things that happen in life with bulls and how they reflect their definition, where they show up, what games they're in, you know. Uh, why was I? And also, when you play darts, it's bullseye. There's 20 area spaces in darts. There's a single payout, a double payout, a triple payout. There's the bullseye, and then there's the around the bullseye, which happens to be green and red. Sounds like Martian to me. 1 and 2 moons. Okay, this is where I am. R and R, 18 and 18. Nutter butter. Okay, one is butt, one is nut. One is butt, one is nut. Okay, right away again. Look at that. Instead of using the M letter in this situation, which is 13, okay, this 0, 2, don't forget it's 0 to like 20. It's a gateway in B, but it's basic. It's like saying this is the cell that you can create X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? Um, how is the world treating me? You know what? The world treats you how you perceive others, how you perceive others. And if you're, can I say, if you're retrospect, if you're logic, if you're understanding, if you believe that you really think you know what you're thinking, then others treat me as if they're watching sci-fi, like fiction. 13 and 13. Yes, 13 and 13. You can't go anywhere without the sun. And they're united. It's just weird for me. Imagine if you can do the alphabet A to M 2 ways and come together. Forget about, after M, forget about the rest of the letters. We're just going to revert it and use that. Or we're just going to use N over to Z and then N over to Z again. So if you go replicate the one side of the alphabet, N and N is 28, is the 14th letter. We're going to use the same numbers. We're going to use the high numbers. We're not going to use the low numbers. That's why I said N to Z. Because if I went N to Z, 1 through 13, it'd be like talking like A through M. I don't want to do that. I want to do N and N is 14 and 14. So we're going to end up with 99. So right away, Jupiter 13. And 13 is area space, freedom space. Reason for freedom space, reason for the word 13 is, first of all, 13 and 1 have a little bit in common. And what they have in common is they're the first of their kind. And it is the, I don't know how to explain this. It'll create a gateway. It is the first teen in its house. It's the first one to leave its, can I say its syllable behind? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, 11's got more syllables, but it comes into the teen house where there's a whole house, 13, 14, 15, all the way up to 19. Although in numbers, the I'm just going to go to what is 19th. That's a little bit different because 19th will revert all the way over to where ending with 3 and beginning with th, fourth through 19th and 20th as a continuation, as like A and B. There's so much to talk about. I'd have to be writing this all down. So anyways, the first part of the alphabet, okay, when it's duplicated A through M, let me write this down so it's easier to understand for me. And then I'm going to get on. I'm going to do it once. What is it? Okay, so it's A through M, and then M through A. They're both the 13th letter, so this equals to 26. You have 1, 26, 1. So if you go Z through N and N through Z, you'd have 14 and 14. And then you would have 26 and 26. So that, okay, let me do that. And let me do that. And what's funny is this number creates this number. 2 times 8, 2 plus 8 is 16, and 10 equaling to 26. It will revert right down to 2 times 6, 12. 2 plus 6, 8 equals to 20. It also reflects Rubik's Cube. 12 colors. 3, 6, 9, 12, and 12 colors on the other side. And no, that's not what I wanted to say. I wanted to say there were 12 inside double colors, 2, 4, and then the 6, 8, and 10, 12. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's 4. And then there's 4 on this side, and then there's 4 on this side. So there's 4, 4, 4 of 2 colors. 12 times 2, 24. 8 times 3, 24. So this one, because we're going to share to each side, becomes 54, 54. And this is where we come into where is the sun pass. Let me just, I'm missing something. Oh, yes, we have to reverse this to where it's M-A-A-M, which is 13 and 1 and 1 and 13. This is 2, so we'd have 13 and 2 and 13. Here we'd have N and Z and Z and N. We'd have 26 and 26. 52 is Earth's doghouse. And then we have 14, the DNA onto Earth, NA, and we'd have 5, 7, 5. We would now have moon time. 57, 5 times 7 equals to 35. 5 plus 7 equals to 12. The numeric value for time is 47. The answer is 47. 3 plus 5 equals to 8. 1 plus 2 equals to 3. To manufacture these singular numbers, 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 equals to 1 equals to 2 plus 1 equals to 3. 2 times 2, 2 plus 2 equals to 4 equals to 4. 4 plus 4 equals to 8. C and H, combination, ch. The numeric value for the moon and the word Mars in verse is, is Heinz 57, Mars 51, reverse alphabet. So now I'm not sure if this was understood, and this becomes a gate, 424 gate. Cycle in the moon becomes the gate. Where do I get all this? 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 equals 6 and 8. Same result over here. 8 and 6 equals to 14. 14 and 14 equal to 28. But in this result, this is birth, DNA, and sun, because the math that comes from here and the complete math that comes from here. Right here, it will say the queen, the invert to itself, 48, and what is 14 equals to what is, I'm going to do 48 equals to 62, but over each other, it equals to 53, which is 11 and 12, creating within each other. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1, 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 will create these two numeric values. If you add 47 to make it perfect, adding time, but if you add 57, it equals to, we must bring these back together to 11, your basic creation. 5 and 5, 10, 1 plus 0, 1. 7 and 3, 10, 1 plus 0, 1. Your basic creation to a single, in its single cell. How can I explain this? So many things going on. I'm going so fast. I just feel I'm going so fast. Let me look. Continue with the comments. Okay. Thank you, Danielle, Danielle, Ricky. Okay. Art, space, area, space, area, space, area, space. Now, in area space, the S and P, because we know we need to take 2 steps when we start off anything, and Noah went 2 by 2, is 1 is not alone. If it's 1, then there's 8. If there's 2, then there's 7. If there's 3, then there's 6. If there's 4, then there's 5. That's the way the dice is set up. The blank area space that you believe, if they were broken into pieces, and the pieces look like this, you'd have 9 area spaces. And then if they put it on the calculator and left you with only 1 face, every part of it would get a location. So the singular dot over here is in position 5, numeric value, 5 and 1, Mars, the 4th planet on your keyboard, and you press shift, right? Time shift, you end up with a $sign. There's 8 areas that surround the 5. If you were looking at the 2, the 7 and 3, the French accent shows me this is a grave accent. The French accent 1, 5 through 9 shows me it is the aigu accent. That is where the 2 comes in. When the 2 is pointing up towards the 9 in this scenario, okay, you are going to have 4 and 3 at the bottom. When the 2 is pointed towards the grave area, you will have 6 and 1. So you have 6 and 1, depending where the 2, depending which way the 2 is. This way, 6 and 1. This way, 4 and 3. 4 and 3. And this way, 6 and 1. So these are the obligations. 5, 5, 2 times 2 is 5, then 2 is hiding halfers. No, 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 equals 3 and 2, 5. 81, 120. But how does 9 disappear in Microsoft Windows? The only 9, if we want to look at a basic window, right? Here we're going to look at a window like this, okay? Right? So we're going to look at 1 dot, 2 dots, 3 dots, 4 dots, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you have 9 dots for area. That's how I see that area. But Monopoly is not like that. If Monopoly was like that, if I had to go with Monopoly, every corner would have a value of 9, in which it would be 7, 2, and then, sorry, it'd be 7, well, it'd be 9, 9. It would be, let me do this, hold on a second. It would be 6, 3, 3, meaning there are 6 dots here, 3 that are shared, and then 3 of its own. and then we go on to the next one, and that would be 3. And we'd have all 3s until we get to the corner at the end, dot, 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 and then we'd have a 6. So that would be that. Now, another thing about Monopoly, right? If we were sharing windows, our first window would be here, window A. Now, the second window, okay, would be over here. So here's our second window. We either can go this direction or this direction. You're not going in both. It's one or the other. It's the same as, here's the number 9, and here's the number 6. I can do it the other way, but I don't. And then we create the formation. Whoop. And then we create the formation. Whoop, that's wrong. I can do it that way. I never do. I just want to do it the same way I've been doing it. I don't have an explanation for the other one. This one I do. Those are the diamonds in between the two houses. And if you look, this one goes like this. This one goes like that. So where was I? Yes. So in Monopoly, so you have these two windows overlapping, right? So now you're getting dimension from it. And that's your offset cube in Monopoly. So now you'd have, actually, if you want to continue it, then you'd have a 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and you'd have 1, 2. Let me see this. You'd have 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and 1, 2, 3, 4 here. So it's almost like chopping up a quasar, right? It almost creates a quasar, and you can see in here you have that hexagon wheel over here that sort of just pops up out of nowhere. If you use one side and close the other. Y2K. Y2K, the year 2000, or the Hebrew year 5760, which is 1,440 minutes in a day, times 4. Times 3 would give us our vibration. Y2K is Y2K. 25 times 2 is 50, is 550. Apply it to the next 42 months. Man, woman, child, booster rockets, 1212, the dividers. So, and there's multiple suns. So, and these designs have to be expanded, just like, I'm sorry I didn't get back with my last piece. I didn't finish this yet. I'm going to create a design. I'm also going to try and connect the numbers with different shapes instead of just lines, and continue on the mathematics as well. Oh, it's late. It's late. So we're going to end the video now. I don't even think I got done when I started to do. Remember, I like to use weights and measures, and I did a short. About this. What this is 25 Celsius is 77 Fahrenheit. 77 represents matter, Christ. The student, because of the mathematics, 7 times 7, 7 plus 7 equals 49, and 14 equals 63. The word 11 equals 63. They use ace as the 11, and the ace, we know, has the DD looking like bulls face to face on opposite sides of each other in what creates the pyramid inside the ace. And then the triangular on the outside. Don't forget, we have to have the pyramid and the outside. We are exactly like what was built, maybe in a slightly different form. So I don't want to hold up the book. It's too hard. I just want to finish it this way. So inside of here, so when I did Celsius to Fahrenheit, I reverted it. I'm just trying to see where. So the difference between what is a 5 and 2/7 to a 3 and 4/7 is always 16.2. 34 to 43, 16.2. 216 or 2160 is 1.5 times, first of all, Mars. 1/4 of Mars is represented inside of this. Everything has to be 3 and 4. What is this? 3 times 5 is 15. How do we get this? 3.75. This goes through the moon. This goes shooting through the moon. Not this one. I can't explain why these go together. They just do. The 24-hour day to the 15-hour day of 90 minutes in an hour. Is that the way it is? 90 times 15 is 900 and 450. So where does the other 90 come from? Is that our birth plus 1? The cue ball. I'm just pondering right now. But this is the diameter of the moon. And 1 through 15 added, which is 1 through 5 equals to 15, and 1 through 15 equals to 120. And it talks about the game of pool, the 15 balls in the game of pool has the same result divided by 1 ball to 7 balls and 7 balls. And this is our Q17. Ways to make it: 5 times 2, 5 plus 2. 1 times 8, 1 plus 8 equals to 9, equals to 8, equals to 10, equals to 7. Within 1 and 7 is 9 and 8, the birth in the Highgate. So where are we? So that's 16.2. That goes into, oh my God, I got to stop. I'm tired. Just there's a lot going on. What you just showed in the program, wow, that was really far out and amazing. Where? What did I show? What did I show? What did I show? What you just showed in the program, wow, that was really far out. What did I show? I don't know what I showed. I don't know what I showed. Update me. And also 13 is also EI, which is an invert to the cube. Easier to do with 2 cubes. I want to thank Jamie. You know what? I always forget the name, and it bugs me. It bugs me. Let me see if I yes. Altered images. Altered images. Altered images. I don't know. I don't know what this is. I tied it up. Maybe I should just take it off. So it was supposed to be the spade, right? It was supposed to be the spade that encompassed the club. And this is now reverted to the, what do you call it in French? Le pic. Le trèfle, le pic. So this is the pic, you know? The letters V and I, when they come together, the V and I is 6, right? It represents Mars. 9, 3, 1. I'm just trying to see what that is. I've seen that before, but I'm too tired to continue. That's why they skipped 9. Who skipped 9? Free energy. Yeah, so the 9 is probably diverted or controlled. I don't know. 1 and 8, 9, 2 and 7, 9, 3 and 6, 9, 4 and 5, 9, and all nines, right? Did I do this? Let me do this. 1 times 9, 1 plus 9. 2 times 9, 2 plus 9. 3 times 9, 3 plus 9. 4 times 9, 4 plus 9. 5 times 9, 5 plus 9. 6 times 9, 6 plus 9. 7 times 9, 7 plus 9. 8 times 9, 8 plus 9. 9 times 9, 9 plus 9. Check your telephone out and go to an ATM. Now, this one is missing and this one is missing. 1 and 7, 8, 2 and 6, 8. So this one will equal 2, equal 2, equal 2, equal 2, equal 2, equal 2, equals to 9, 10, 18, 11, 27, 12, 36, 13, 45, 14, 54, 15. This is where pi comes in, inside the division in the sun right here. 63, 16, 72, 17, 81, 18. So I can possibly replace all these numbers with my lower numbers if we wanted to look at that way. This is the only one where 9 is higher than 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. In each one of these, they tell a different story, but they all revert back to the number that they started from. Now, if you remove them, 73, 55, so your passage is in the high gate. Here it is 47, time, gate and birth and time. Here it is 39, the angel in 69, the angel in the sky, 39. Here it's 31. I'll think of the cube, 7 times 3, 7 plus 3. Here it's 23. So this is your basic creation, your BC creation, Earth, Venus. This is where it's born into the sun because of this math of 18 and 9. And this one over here is 15. So in 3 area over here, you get 15 Mars. But in this area, 49 Mars, you get the sun. And then over here again, you have the DNA and you have the Fox pass in the sun. And then here it's rotation of the sun. I'm just trying to gather my thoughts. Then over here, you'd have 0, 7. So you have the gate in Venus. And then over here, you'd have the 1. So between 1 and 2, you'd have the gate. So now in singular fashion, from top to bottom, with the minus side, I can do minus and plus, but I'm not going to do that right now. 20, 36, 50, 20, 36, 54, 72, 90, 108, 126. Again, birth gate. 144. Wow. Wow. Very interesting. I have to look at that. I have to look at that. And why does it say 98? It's 99. It's 99. 99, 73, 172. Okay, so let me go back and go over this. So it'll be 1, 7, 6 to the minus side, 5, whoop, 5. I'm doing this to the minus side. I'll show you what I'm doing in a minute. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1. It's actually 1, 0. 7 and 3 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. 5 and 5 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. 7 and 4, 11. 1 and 1 is 2. 63 minus 16 is 47 plus 16 is 63. I did the minus instead of the addition in multiplication and addition. So what would happen here? We'd have 6. Here we'd have 12. Here we'd have 12. Here we'd have 12. Here we'd have 8. Here we'd have 10. Here we'd have 4. I'm just trying to see what's going on, but right now I have a big headache. And this is just one of the equations that brings numbers closer together. 4 and 5, 9, right? So when you have 4 and 5, 9, you have 3 and 2, 5. When you have 6 and 3, 9, you have 1 and 4. This is our home. This is our home, and this speaks about the sun. 99, Jupiter, and 13. That's why I just have to think a little bit more. Thank you, Seattle. Reboot 99, absolutely. Good night, good night, good night. I drilled a little, I was fixing my bed or building a bedpost, and I sort of poked my finger there, and that's paint from the painting I did over there. I just, let me see. I don't know if you can really see it. Doesn't look so good with this light on it. It's hard to see. Anyways, hard to capture. Good night, good night, good night. Yeah, the ultimate math game, and just need to create that program. So once we get that program in there, it's going to be a lot different. A few more people to work on this. And have a good night. Have a super good night. And you know what? Just want to be harmonic with everybody, you know? Just want to be harmonic with everybody and let things slide, let things roll, let things be fair, right? Let things be just fair. And who's the one who chooses what fair is? Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. Logic.